Oh, What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Joined today is my co-host, Kelsey and JoJo. Woot woot.
Hello.
So, I would ask you guys, what's been going on, what's new, but honestly, I don't care. JK, just kidding. Actually, I've been trying to tell a story last podcast, and my internet rudely cut me off, so we're just going to go ahead and start with that. Anyways, so a lot of you have been wanting to know. I haven't told a lot of people the story. Actually, I haven't told hardly anybody the full story, just besides the fact that the important part, which is that the surgery for my baby was successful. So, that being said, here's how that day went. It was rough. I'm not going to lie to you. It was super rough. So, I will start out with saying I feel I did a lot better emotional-wise to start, and then some other things happened which did not pan out well for me emotion-wise. Let's see. We started off with going to the hospital. It was another early surgery, so 5:40 in the morning. We're getting up. Fortunately, Lily was not allowed to eat, so she hadn't eaten anything, I think, since like 8 o'clock at night the day before. So she had an empty stomach. We're taking her in. We get there, everything seems to be going great. We get in real quick. She actually went back to surgery 15 minutes early because everything was moving along, papers were going, da-da-da-da-da. So we get there, we get her in the room, we start changing her up. This is where I was like losing my shit last time. Like I was trying not to bawl crying, da-da-da. Like even the nurses could see, they're like, oh my God, she's going to be fine, it's okay, da-da-da-da. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like it's putting an infant through, and like, so they were talking about the reason why they're not letting parents go back, obviously because of COVID right now, which not that we asked, but like if, my significant other wanted me to, because I knew for a fact she couldn't do it. But if she wanted me to, I would have. But he was, discussing why. He's like, we let you see everything, and then it's like, as we're putting them down, like, we kind of get you the fuck out of the room because it's very unsettling to see how that happens. And I was like, why would you tell me this? Like, I don't even like thinking about it now, I didn't go back. It wasn't an option, obviously, because of COVID. She did good being taken away from us again. We don't expect that to be more of a problem until she's a little bit older. This time they took her away on a bed, to where last time they just kind of picked her up and held her and took her. Still very hard to see your child go down there and not follow. Like, it's very hard. So we go to the waiting room. This is where things started getting rocky. So I did the same thing I did last time. Took my time to go sit in the church, do my talk with God and do my talk with my grandpa. And, came back, no call. Waiting. So last time we did the surgery, the nurse called us like 3 to 4 times throughout the surgery. She's doing fine, she's doing good, she's doing fine, she's doing good. No call the entire surgery. We were told this surgery was going to be an hour and a half. She went back 15 minutes early. She came out roughly 45 minutes late from surgery. Once again, no updates the entire time.
Okay, so at this point, she's been under for 2, to the best of your knowledge.
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
So
she's a year old.
Yes, a year old.
Relevant detail.
Yeah. So waiting. Next thing that happens is the front desk gets a call. We're sitting like basically almost directly behind the front desk. And the lady gets up and she's like, hey, I'm going to need you guys to go over into this consultant room so the surgeon can come and talk to you. My heart fucking sunk. Like, we were probably in there for 3 minutes. It felt like fucking ever.
I would already be crying.
It's nothing on the surgeon. I will say, I'm not going to say his name obviously, but doctor, was 100% professional. As soon as he came in and saw the look on our faces, immediately like gave us a thumbs up. Like he knew, like we thought something was wrong the moment he opened the door. And
the fuck, nurse?
The reason why is because apparently that's normal procedure. Regardless if it's good or bad, you're supposed to go into the consultant room. That didn't happen to us last time because the staff never came and got us. Our surgeon sat in the consultant room for 30 to 40 minutes waiting for us to come in, and then finally decided to go look for us and then told us the information in the waiting room. Because it was good information, nothing too like private or crazy.
Yeah.
So was supposed to be normal procedure, but with the fact that I got zero calls, zero updates the entire time, and now we're being moved into this room that's like fucking 4x4 with a fucking couch and fucking box of tissues, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it was rough. Oh my god, like I can't. I'd never want to feel that again. Like it was hard. It was really hard. But like I said, as soon as he walked in, he saw the look. It was very easy to tell, and immediately it was like everything was great. Everything was great. You're
Jesus.
good. She's fine. She's recovering well. She's awake. Let's now talk about what happened in the surgery. So, all good things happened in the surgery, which is fantastic. The original procedure that I talked about the first time was they were going to go up through the hole in the palate and then cut the soft palate, fold that back, and then make that a new palate. She apparently had enough palate on her left side. They were able to just skin that and then fold that over, and then this would all grow back without even having to go up and behind. So it's a lot easier of a surgery for them to do, and this means that her recovery would be better because only the left side of her mouth would be sore versus her entire mouth just being fucking miserable for 10 days. So we were able to kind of more just try to feed her on the right side, and she was still able to eat. So now we go to the recovery room. We're in the recovery room, which isn't her last room. I will say I got kicked out of the hospital, not by staff, but by my lovely significant other because I was losing my fucking patience. And it was very easy to see that. We walk in and the nurse is there. My baby is just screaming and crying. She's waking up from anesthesia. She doesn't know what the hell's going on.
She's in
Her
pain.
mouth
She's
is hurting like
scared.
crazy. She's
Yeah.
scared. Da 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 da. I mean, even just seeing mommy and daddy isn't enough. Like she is just in pain. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
So they talk about the fact that they do give her a medicine as she's coming off anesthesia, pain meds, and that if we need to, she's like, we can kind of upgrade to some narcotics and give her that. And I was like, absolutely not. I don't want, like, literally just got through talking to the surgeon. He's like, I do not want to give narcotics to your baby. It is not a procedure we like to do with giving narcotics to an infant. It's just something we don't like to do. Their systems are not for that. He's like,
Yeah.
I can give your baby Tylenol that you can take every 2 hours and it's good for her for every 8 hours. Like, we don't need to give your baby narcotics, which I agree with, completely agree with. And fentanyl, by the way, was the one that was, that was the one that was the choice that the nurse kept talking about. Yeah, fentanyl.
Sorry, I had a shit reaction to fentanyl, but go ahead, keep talking.
So she's all like, but really it's up to the parents. What do you want to do? And Megan's like, well, she hasn't eaten since 8. I know she's not going to be able to eat any actual food, but maybe
God,
getting.
yeah, she's hungry.
Yeah, I mean, it's now it's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. So she hasn't eaten since 8 p.m. the day before. So it's like, if we just get her like some cold milk, something that's not going to hurt up there, da 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 da, let's try to do that. The nurse goes, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try that first. All right, fantastic. Well, you can't feed her down here in recovery. Okay, well, when is her room going to be ready? We don't know. Her room wasn't ready for like almost half an hour. I'm like, why does this get scheduled? Like, I don't understand why this whole thing gets scheduled if like we don't have like what the entire second half of this is ready. And it wasn't because somebody was in there. They just haven't gotten around to putting stuff in the room yet. Okay? Like, once again, this is scheduled weeks ahead of time. Like, at some point, you got to think, like, that being the next part of the procedure, because the rooms that we're in, that we're taking up, are far more important than the rooms up there that we would be taking up. This is like recovery room. This is the ICU. Like, anything happens, everybody is there ready to jump and make sure they save the fucking patient. So we're taking up some. I mean, I saw nurses kept walking by, like, is this room free yet? Nope. Is this room free yet? Nope. Like, constantly trying to figure that shit out. So I was super pissed, especially when I went up there and saw how many empty rooms there were. I was super fucking livid. Anyways, that wasn't the worst part. So she probably tried to coax me into giving fentanyl to my child somewhere in the realm of 20 times. After we already said no and that we had other options we wanted to try first. And she agreed with us with the options, said they made sense, but still, literally almost every 2 minutes, you know what? She's not calming down. Maybe we should give her some fentanyl. No. How many times did I tell you that? No. I do not want you putting any narcotics into my child. Like, just plain and simple. None. Zero. Zilch. Done. So, we finally get to the point where we're able to go up to the room. And she's sitting there. I mean, obviously, my child doesn't understand, full speech yet. So, obviously, she had no idea what the chick was saying.
She's 1.
Right. She had no idea what the chick was saying. But she's sitting there, And she's like, oh, well, I'll just talk to you like I do all the other kids, you know, maybe in like 10 minutes or so after you get something in your stomach, we can take you to the toy room and you can play with toys. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, if my daughter was actually able to understand what you're saying, like, I wouldn't want you saying this shit because she's not going to be able to do that. She needs to be in bed. She needs to be resting. She needs to have some fucking pain meds and she needs to be eating. Like, what are you doing? And she's just pushing this fucking thing so slow. And I'm like, do you need help? Nah, I'm good. I got another nurse pushing the other side. Then let's fucking go. Like, I mean, we were literally, I mean, I could have fucking walked backwards faster than we were fucking moving. And meanwhile, once again, my child is screaming and crying the entire fucking time. So we finally get up there, and while my child is screaming her head off for probably somewhere in the realm of 15 to 20 minutes, they refuse to let us feed her until after they got the briefing. They had to get the full briefing where her vitals were, what she's had done, which I get. I completely understand. Great procedure.
It does
I don't
make
want
sense.
anything being double done. Right, exactly. We don't want anything being double done. That's the key word here. All right. Literally, as soon as the lady leaves, after she gave her the full debrief, the chick goes to do every single thing she just got told that was already done. Every single thing. Wanting to take temperature, blood pressure, all this other stuff. I'm like, she just did this literally right before we came up here. It's been a minute. It's literally been 60 seconds. And you just got told she just did all this. Like, she literally said, I'm just going to throw a random time out there. She's like, yeah, and she just had all of her vitals taken, so she's good to go. She had them all taken at 6:42. This lady was trying to do it at 6:44. Like, that close together. I'm like, do you not understand what's going on? Like, she's like, oh, I can't get her to calm down. No shit. Like, obviously. Can we just, like, get her to where she feels better, and then you could come in and do that? Like, please. So, finally, the nurse went, got milk. That's what she wanted, obviously. She was hungry, and we were able to get the lights dimmed down, and my significant other to hold her and kind of rock her, and she was able to get to sleep. The problem was she kept waking up because now she has a palate. My baby's used to snoring, so every time she went to go snore, that vibrated, which obviously was painful because that's all brand new. And she was still not on meds yet because we had to wait, preferably because, like I said, by the time we got up to the room, it was somewhere around almost 11 o'clock. She couldn't have meds till 12, and then we were able to get her on the actual cycle. So we were trying to stretch it as long as we could, keep her occupied. Which, by the way, I found a new music video that she absolutely loves, and I'll talk about that here a little bit later. But anyways, so
Is it your AMV?
No, I wish, but no. Anyways, but yeah, so we finally got her to settle down. When we finally got on our meds, like, day one was rough, but after that, everything was fine. But yeah, it was after they finally let us feed her, and I was able to get her to, like, kind of calm down, and she was sleeping. My significant other looked at me and was all like, you just need to leave and, like, decompress, because I see you literally physically wanting to rip heads off, like, right now. Like, I was beyond livid. I was so fucking mad. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, my baby's screaming and crying, so as a nurse or a doctor, your first thing is, well, let's do something to soothe her. Great. Let's get on that same page then. When we say no to fentanyl, and you say, oh, a good idea would also be, yeah, let's go feed her. Cool, let's move to that step. 30 minutes later is not acceptable to move to finally getting up to a room and then still having to wait another 15 minutes for you to give a full overlay because I can't feed my daughter while you're discussing her vitals. It's not like I'm giving her random medicines or something. It's just fucking milk. Like, literally anything. Like, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was not happy. I was super frustrated. She did great in recovery the next day. We were discharged by somewhere around 10 to noon and on our way home. So yeah, she did super good. We got her on her pain regimen. It was at 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock every time. She had to take ibuprofen, and then at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock every time she had to take Tylenol, and we had to do that. Okay. So every 3 hours she's getting a dose. All the way until about, I think, like the 7th day, and then that's when we got to see the surgeon again. And he looked in there and all that other fun stuff and was like, yeah, everything's healing. So if you guys feel comfortable, obviously take it at her pace, start winging her off. I think by day 10, we were completely off meds, like 100%. So just slowly started, like, pushing it back by 30 minutes at a time and slowly eliminating doses. So yeah, she did super well. The one thing I did that fucked up, though, is that the surgeon's like, you can, but I would advise not to look. And we were changing her, and I wasn't thinking about it. And so we're changing her, and she's crying because now she's laying back. All that blood is rushing up that way. Mm-hmm. she opened her mouth, and I just so happened to be looking at her face, and I'm from down here, and I look up, and is by far the most horrifying thing I think I've ever seen in my fucking life. I was like, I mean, he talked about the fact that they cut and scraped stuff away. It looked like nothing was there. I was like, wow. I mean, whenever you see what's behind your palate, that's a whole new world. That is a whole new world. Woo! I was like, I know why that hurts. Yeah, I know exactly why you're in pain. That looks terrifying. So
does that grow back? It's not gonna be a nightmare forever. Okay.
Yep. No, it's already grown back. That's the crazy thing.
Okay.
The fucking kids are so resilient. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like we brought her home. As soon as she got home, the first thing she did is started going to play with her toys. Day 2 of surgery. She's automatically in her playpen. She's fucking tackling her fucking teddy bear. She's fucking throwing shit around, grabbing her toy bag, pulling shit out. I mean, we had to keep her with no-nos on, so her arms were like this, for a solid like fucking she had to have them on for 10 days. So yeah, 10 days she had to have her fucking no-nos. So her arms, but I mean, she adapted to crawling like that real quick, pulling herself up like that real quick, like everything. Like it was fucking insane. Like she's a fucking fighter. She impressed the shit out of me. That's for sure. I'm like, I'd be bedridden for a fucking week. I know that. My fucking ass would be sitting in bed. I don't feel good. My mouth hurts. Ice cream, Like she was just like day 2. She's fucking full speeding across the fucking living rooms, arms stiff as fucking boards, and headbutting right into her teddy bear, knocking it over, laughing her ass off, bunking her head against the furniture. I'm like, what are you doing? Calm down. Rest, please.
No, she doesn't need it. The mouth wounds are one of the fastest healing places on your body. Your eyes are absolutely the fastest, but then the next, I think one of the next fastest is actually your mouth.
Huh. Yeah, so pretty impressive. I was super excited, and now she is super good to go, and luckily we don't have to worry about anything surgery-wise until about 3 years old, which is more of just looking to see how things are going with her teeth coming in, because even though her palate is fixed, like her actual gum line is still really fucked up there. Like it kind of goes like it's straight and then it does like this heel kind of thing, because this is all gone and stuff like that. So, but I mean, so far she's got like 3 teeth coming in over here. She's already got 2 teeth over here, and then her 2 bottom ones, and everything's growing in straight. So, I mean, I'll fucking take it for what it's worth. So, yeah. But yeah, so my daughter's super healthy, super excited. I know a lot of people have been waiting to hear that, and that pretty much cuts our time here for the podcast. But yeah, that is she's doing great. Everybody who's been wanting to hear this, I haven't been streaming, so I haven't been able to talk about it. I've been super busy. And now that I finally feel like I can breathe, and everybody's back on Dead Funny, we can all talk about it, because I know everybody wanted to know. I didn't even tell these guys. They knew when everything was okay, the moment it was okay, because I obviously was texting them as I was at the hospital. But other than that, I just had nobody, I don't think, I've actually told that story to, besides maybe a couple of the guys whenever I finally got back and was like playing video games and just needed somebody to vent to. Because like I said, sitting in that consultant room, that was the roughest.
I would have been sobbing immediately.
Yeah.
That is the fact that they didn't say like she's fine, go meet in the consulting
Nothing
room.
like that.
Like literally just 2 words. She's fine. Go meet the surgeon in the consultant room. Like 2 words, and you guys would have had a completely different outlook on that conversation.
Yep.
Like God, the
like
stress for 3 minutes. How horrific.
I do not blame the surgeon at all. He was super professional. I'm so glad that as soon as he walked in, he saw our faces. He was like, oh, no, she's fine. She's good. She's fine. She's awake. She's recovering. Can I talk to you about what we actually did in the surgery room? So that I was super happy about. But yeah, the rest of the staff, was not a fan. Not a fan, believe it or not. So, yeah. But anyways, we're going to wrap this podcast up on the good note that my daughter is healthy and recovering well and doing super awesome. But yeah, so if you like this, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts, views. We also got Twitch, Twitter, the merch link as well. Make sure you go check those out and support people where you can. Like I said, I hope to be streaming again soon now that I actually have time. So, because I don't think any one of those streams, even James, I think like the other day, he streamed yesterday. Yeah, I saw it pop up and it was like, haven't streamed in forever, but here we are. So it's like, I'm in the same boat. Anyways, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and end it there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.